G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic day, whatever time of day it may be in your part of the world. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a independent American horror film released in the year 2006, directed by Jim Mickle, and this film is called Mulberry Street. And the story to Mulberry Street is as follows. One sweltering summer day in Manhattan, the streets explode into chaos as a rat-borne virus breaks out. With every vicious bite, more and more city dwellers turn into bloodthirsty rodent-like creatures that violently attack other residents. And it seems that no amount of emergency response efforts can stop the infestation. As the city around them spirals out of control, 7 tenants of 51 Mulberry Street make their last stand, fighting through the night for their very survival. So this is basically a zombie apocalypse film, kind of the same rules as a zombie apocalypse, except this one is a virus that has been transferred from rats to people. So at the start of the movie there is a plumber who is bitten by a rat, and he gets very, very sick, and to the horror of the city of Manhattan, he begins to turn into a rodent-like creature, and he bites the next person. So then the virus spreads that way. So as I said, it's nothing you haven't seen before as far as a virus is concerned. So before they know it, the whole city is under siege by these rodent-like creatures, and 7 tenants of 51 Mulberry Street band together, and they have to cooperate and have to have a lot of teamwork in order to survive the night and get out of here alive. So whether or not these 7 tenants are successful in what they do, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that is as far as I am going with a synopsis. Now, my thoughts on the film. As far as low-budget independent American horror is concerned, I actually thought this is a very well-made film. Atmospherically, it is brilliant. I actually thought, not too many films, even in mainstream Hollywood horror, have the atmosphere that this film has. I thought it was a very dreaded atmosphere, and there was a strong sense of claustrophobia, especially when, the city has been overrun. You see these 7 tenants who are fighting against it, and it seems like it's them versus the world. So the outside world is very, very big and very dangerous, whereas the 7 tenants seem to be all alone and in a very, very tight situation. So there is a strong sense of fear and claustrophobia as the movie progresses, and that feeling only intensifies as it goes along. So the pacing was excellent as well. So as far as technique is concerned, this one was very well made. There's a lot of shaky camera, so beware of that. If you don't like shaky cam, which I know a few of you out there don't, you probably won't like this one, but I actually thought the shaky cam worked into it perfectly because it gave it a strong sense of realism and a lot more intensity when those action sequences happen. Now, for as I said, low-budget movie, doesn't have a lot of CGI. Well, actually, there's no CGI, sorry. It's all practical effects, which I appreciated. No cheap tricks to try and win over the audience. It's not the most gory film. It's not graphic. There is a bit of gore in it, but I really applauded the fact that the director didn't try and throw some stupid CGI gore in there. As I said, all practical, so it does pay respect to the viewer a lot, and I actually thought that some of the scenes showing less was indeed best. So the director was full aware of how big a budget he had, and he wasn't getting too ambitious, which is actually a big plus because it does create something a little bit different. Acting, very good. I thought the characters were very likable, so when some scenes happen, you actually feel a little bit of emotion. There was a lot of unpredictability to the film. There are some characters that you think might survive it, but that actually don't, and it happens very quickly, so you're kind of shocked. So for that, I thought that that keeps the viewer on the edge of their seat. Only goes for 81 minutes, so it doesn't take too long before it gets into it, although there is a fairly solid build-up before the carnage happens, which I could appreciate, but at no stage does it get bogged down, which is something that I really liked as well. So, a lot to like about the movie. Unfortunately, the biggest criticism is that it's nothing you haven't seen before, and after watching the film, you'd be scratching your heads thinking that you've seen it before from somewhere else. So it is a tired sort of storyline that has been done over and over, and therefore the originality in the film is pretty much non-existent. It wasn't very creative, and I do feel that although it's rat people instead of zombies, that kind of played against it a little bit, because when you actually see the transformation of these people into these rat-like creatures, instead of being scary, it comes across as a little bit comical. So I thought, if the director could have had it over again, I would have rather just to see zombies, because the rat people, although he was trying to be creative, it come across as a little bit funny rather than scary. And it took a little bit out of it for me. But fortunately, the action sequences and the terrified expressions on the faces of these survivors was enough to get it over the line. I'm only going to give it a 3 out of 5, but having said that, don't let that put you off, because I do feel that as far as American independent horror is concerned, this one is definitely one of the best ones, because the acting, surprisingly, is top-notch. So yeah, 3 out of 5. I am definitely going to say go out there and see Mulberry Street. It's definitely worth the effort, especially if you're getting tired of the mainstream crap that's going around. A story that's been done before, but it is a story that has been told very well. Alright guys, that's my review for Mulberry Street. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.